So, first thing I've got to do today is get across this without getting soaked. Now, some of these little bits here are easily waist deep. Just got to figure out the best way to attack this. We made it. Well, hello and welcome back to another video. Now, I've made it across to the mark which I intend to fish for the next sort of hour or so, and I'm just going to set up a rod. Now, I'm out today to hopefully catch some mackerel. Now, this is the first time I've tried this year. We're into May now, and I know that a few have been caught from the shore quite recently. I brought with me today my spinning rod, so later on I'll be throwing out a little metal and see if I can entice any and catch a few on the lure rod. And I've also brought with me one of my beach rods. It's just a 12-foot with a fixed spool. I've got some feathers with me. Now, the feathers I've had for God knows how long. They're pretty rusty, but I've checked the hooks and they're still sharp, so hopefully they'll be okay. Now, we're on high water and we got really small tides today, hence why I could cross over to this mark. Usually it's a low tide mark. But yeah, I'm just gonna have a go for a mackerel. Pretty excited about it, really. Got those summer vibes. It's a lovely sunny day. I've got a bit of a breeze, but yeah, nothing too major. So like I said, I'm gonna set my rod up now and then we'll get to it. So there we go, that's all there is to it. Just tied on the feathers there, and like I said, just using one of my beach rods. I'm going to be throwing these out, covering all of that sort of area, getting it as far out as I can, and hopefully, pray to God, there's some mackerel about. First cast, you beauty. First cast, baby, you absolute beauty. How much fun and how much joy a mackerel can bring you. Come here, that's a good size as well. That took fairly close in. All right, mate. There we go, our first mackerel on the first cast. Couldn't ask for more. First cast, come on. I'm happy with that. One little mackerel, well, it's a good sized mackerel. That took pretty close in. Now, the reason I'm using the feathers first is just to give me an indication. I got more chance catching on feathers than I have got a lure, and I'm throwing out a 4-ounce lead, so obviously I can get it further than a little 20-30 gram lure. So if I can catch a few on the feathers, I know I've got a feed, and then I can have a bit of fun with the lure rod. Well, couldn't have asked for a better start. I'm gonna chuck this out. First cast in, one mackerel. There we are, 2 more mackerel. That's a nice sized one, that top one. Oh, I just realised I wasn't filming on the other camera then. Would have been able to get a better view of what it was like to hook up. Obviously, just for any beginners or anyone who is completely new to fishing, and with summer coming up, wants to get out and give it a go. Lovely size, these mackerel. Well, I'm 5 casts in. That was the first cast. I've not had a fish. So straight into them. Bang that one out that way. Now I know everyone has their own preferred mackerel feathers, but I think these are just the Shakespeare ones. They're 99p, multicoloured. You get 6 on a string. I buy the same ones every year. Now I know mackerel will take literally anything. People even just use little tiny hooks with like the inside of a crisp packet or tin foil, just anything that's shiny. There are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of sand eels down there, and that'll be why the mackerel are here. Little tiny ones, maybe an inch big. I assume they're sand eels. They could be something else, but that's going to be why the mackerel are in. I'm going to go out that side this way this time. I've just landed on them, literally just landed on them. Oh, I think one's come off. They were further out, as I didn't even reel, that landed in them. Come on. Against that tide, just put a good bend in the rod. How many we got? I think it's just a couple, yeah. Pretty sure I felt one come off because it was a lot heavier. Oh, these mackerel are splattering all over me. Now I must admit, I didn't expect this. I've had 7 casts. I've had a fish every cast apart from one. And like I said, just covering the ground really, working sort of in a semicircle, just like you would when you're lure fishing for bass or anything like that. Searching out where the fish are. Mackerel will move about all the time. If they're chasing little shoals of sand eel, they're going to be following them. You know, they're going to be on the move all the time. Now obviously, I don't know, I think I've got about half a dozen or so, 6 or 7 at the moment. I'm going to take a few today because I'm actually going to take some to my work to cook for the residents at my work. But so I'm going to see if I can get a few more. I'm not after tons and tons obviously, and then I'll flick out a lure and see if we can get any on that. I'll give you a show of the fish once I've got them sorted. I'm just catching them, unhooking them, putting them straight into a bag, and then carrying on. Well, that last one I had literally took down there within just a couple of meters, and I just saw a swarm, a bait ball of those little fish that are down there, which I'm assuming are sand eels. I even saw another couple of mackerel shoot in. Now what I'd really be hoping for around here with all these mackerel about is that there'd be a bass lurking somewhere. You would have thought so. So I'm going to give it a few more casts. I'm absolutely covered in scales and crap. I'm going to give it a few more casts with the feathers and then probably chuck a lure. Yeah, that last one, my god, thousands and thousands of bait fish. More mackerel coming to attack them. Crazy. It's absolutely amazing seeing the water full of life like this. This is why whenever you come fishing, no matter what you're fishing for, always only take what you need. There's no need to pile up and pile up. This is the very start of summer as well, so this is a good sign compared to last year. Pretty sure the UK had the same thing. But if it were to continue like this throughout summer, there's plenty of other fishing opportunities to catch mackerel. So always just take what you need. So after about 10 or 12 casts with the feathers, it's time to have a go with the lure rod. Now, obviously I knew this time of year was approaching, and I thought to myself a few days ago, I need to go out and target some mackerel with some metals. Now I was going through my lure box, and me and metals have never really got on. They're good for wrasse and mackerel and things like that. When it comes to bass, still to this day I've never caught a bass on a metal lure. So I don't own too many of them. They're not really my go-tos whatsoever. So saying that, obviously I was thinking about going after some mackerel. So I ordered some little, I think they're major craft, called Jig Parlor, possibly, something like that. Little tiny lures, 20 grams, but only sort of an inch long with little small hooks on. Now, that was a few days ago. They haven't arrived yet. So the only lure I actually have, which is probably suitable for this, is a little Sidewinder. It's called a Mimic Speed Jig, and it weighs 30 grams. It's about 1.5 inches, 2 inches long, with a little assist hook at the front there, and a small treble at the back. So I'm pretty sure that should be okay. The hooks are a little big for the mackerel. Ideally you'd want a little bit smaller, but you never know, it's worth a shot. So as I said, here's the little metal Sidewinder Mimic Jig, 30 gram. And I'm hoping it's going to replicate all of those little bait fish down there. Now mackerel on light gear are extremely good fun. Now what I'm going to do for the retrieves is literally just play around. I think I've only used this lure once or twice before, so I'm not entirely sure the correct action to use, but just going to start by sort of jigging it. And then I'll also give it a few good straight retrieves as well. And hopefully we get smashed by a mackerel. I'm not sure if this one works on the flutter, like the Savage Gear Seekers. A lot of the time you get a hit on the drop. But I'll just vary it up, do a straight retrieve just like that. And then you can speed it up, slow it down, let it sink, keep winding again. Oh yes, there we go. I thought they'd be a bit deeper. I've been fishing it quite shallow. So that time, look at the fight on that. That is crazy. Come on. They are quite deep. And it is fairly deep water here, so come on. Oh no, he come off. Oh, he shot back down there, gutted. Well, that one come off, unfortunately. That was the first hook up on the lure. And on light gear, I mean, so much fun. And that's what I was saying about those hooks. Sometimes it's just better to have the smaller hooks for the mackerel, and then you know you've hooked them properly. But yeah, let's get it back out there and see if we can actually land one. There we go. Yes. Right, I'm not going to play around with this one. Just going to wind it in. But like I said, a lot deeper in the tide. Honestly, this is just crazy. They feel 3 times the size of what they actually are. Come on, let's get this one up. Yes. So there we go. First mackerel on the lure. Absolutely amazing colours on all of them. Lovely greens and blues. Don't know how well you can see that, but so much fun. They go so well, especially on light gear. So it's nice to get some for a feed on the feathers. It's also nice to have a bit of fun, get a few more on the light gear. So as I was just saying, I had about 7 or 8 casts with the lure, and like I said before, I haven't used that little metal jig too much. So I was just varying up the retrieves, fast, slow, jigging it about. And I noticed when I was just winding it straight in, it was very close to the surface. Obviously it got me thinking. I thought those mackerel on the feathers were taken quite deep, so a little simple thing, let the lure drop a little bit deeper, and that's when I hooked those 2. That's turned out to be such great fun. I really wasn't expecting to catch this many at all. I would have been happy with 1 mackerel, and that's no lie. Last year, I think I targeted mackerel a couple of times. I didn't catch too many. It was a really bad summer for them. Everybody was saying the same, and even out on the boats there wasn't mass amounts of them. So hopefully this is a good sign for the year ahead. You never know, once the tuna come in they might start hammering them quite hard, and obviously with the fishermen too. But nonetheless, it's nice to have a little bit of fun, especially on the light gear today. I'm going to have a few more chucks and see if we can find some more. Well, this one was doing acrobatics out the water. Oh man, calm down. Look at that. You don't want those treble hooks going anywhere near you when it's flapping around like that. Beautiful. So let's get back out there for another cast. Now what I'm going to do this time, I've actually been flicking it quite far, but they're all taken so close in. Now I don't have a big extender pole on me today, so I can't get the camera in the water. But there's thousands of bait fish in there. And I'm pretty sure that's the reason why the mackerel is so close to shore. I'll cast out this time, just about 20 meters. I'll let the lure sink and I'll just jig it about, and hopefully I'll be able to hook one again. So I don't need to go any further than that, and then I let it sink good 10 feet, 12 feet, and then just bounce it in. I'm getting a lot of missed hits before the actual take as well. Aha, there was a missed hit. Are we going to hook up? Yeah, we're on. And look at the bend in that rod. Look at that. That's mackerel fishing. And that there's how you do it. What fun this is. But here's a look at the lure. Excuse my hands that are covered in crap. Like I was saying earlier, mackerel will take literally anything. Any metal lure like this, even the little silver spinners that cost £1.99 are absolutely ideal. Oh, I'm on straight away. I was just about to say. Taking a bit of line. It's going to be a nicer size, I think. Or is it foul hook? Actually, I think it's foul hook. It is. That one made my heart jump a little bit. So they're coming thick and fast now. Yep, there we go. Every time. Right, I think that's going to do it for this afternoon. I've had my fun. I'm about to count how many I've got. Let's get this lure off. Still getting them now. I've just had a few more, but 3 or 4 more, but I've not bothered filming them. Once you've seen one, you've seen them all. And there's someone else who's just come down here now. And he's also into them. But it's lovely to see. So there we have it, 18 mackerel altogether, mixed between feathers and metals. But fantastic fun. Now I was still catching, but I'm gonna leave it there for the day. I've got more than enough for what I need, so the guys at work will have a nice cook up, and I'll take 1 or 2 for myself as well. But what a cracking afternoon in the sun. Summer's definitely on its way. So that's going to do it for today. Now, what more can I say? The first mackerel session of the year went better than any mackerel session I had last year. So to say it's the first one, hopefully that's good signs of things to come this summer. Now I'm going to keep it short because my battery's running low now, but I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll be doing a cook up with some of these mackerel, so I may link it to this, or I might do a separate video. But either way, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.